Hello and welcome. You're watching Newsbreak. I'm Gargi Rao. Today on the show, our special focus, the Maharashtra elections, which will take place in less than a month from now, just about a month away. It's the third largest state and a prestige battle for both sides. The BJP, fresh from its historic win in Haryana, hoping to cement its position with a victory in Maharashtra as well. But for the opposition, Maha Vikas Aghadi bloc, a prestige battle for the Congress after its humiliating defeat in Haryana. For the Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena and Sharad Pawar NCP, a fight to prove that they are the real deal. But the past few days have seen hectic parleys among the three parties, opposition parties, to finalize a seat-sharing deal, with the speculation doing the rounds of the Congress and Shiv Sena UBT not being on the same page. So an impasse there. Can they break this deadlock? That's the big discussion today on the show. The Maha seat-sharing dilemma. Will MVA break the deadlock? First, a look at this report on all that's happened so far.
Even as the BJP has announced its first list of 99 seats for the upcoming assembly elections in Maharashtra, the opposition MVA is in a huddle to finalize its seats. As per sources, while there is a consensus on 260 seats, over 20 seats are still under dispute, 12 of which are in Vidarbha, to which both Congress and UBT Sena are staking claim. As per sources, constituencies in Vidarbha such as Gadchiroli, Bhandara, Armori, Chimur and Ramtek are under dispute. South Nagpur and Nasik West are also a point of friction between Congress and UBT Sena. To resolve this standoff, Maharashtra Congress leaders are in Delhi to meet the High Command. They've raised concerns over Shiv Sena's unwillingness to concede these seats.
देखो, हमने 96 सीटों पे अभी आज डिस्कशन किया है और कल हम लोग दिल्ली जाकर बम्बई जाकर वहाँ पर हम शरद पवार जी हो, उद्धव जी से हो, इनसे बात करेंगे. जो कुछ 30-40 जगह का हमारा शेयरिंग प्रॉब्लम हो गया है, उसमें बैठ के हम लोग रास्ता निकालेंगे.
Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar are also holding a series of internal meetings over the seat conundrum, with all three parties expected to come together for discussions tomorrow.
कभी विदर्भ में हमारे भी 4-4, 5-5 सांसद रहे हैं ना. आज भी हमारे सांसद हमने चुनाव लड़े हैं. हमारी सिटिंग सीट रामटेक लोकसभा वो हमने कांग्रेस को दी है. अमरावती सीट हमने कांग्रेस को दी. तो हम अपेक्षा करते हैं कि वो लोकसभा क्षेत्र में हमको विधानसभा के 1-1, 2-2 सीटें मिले. जो पार्टी का हमारा रिप्रेजेंटेशन वहाँ रहे, उसमें गलत क्या है.
Meanwhile, BJP Maharashtra in charges Bhupendra Yadav and Ashwini Vaishnav held talks with the state BJP leaders today to strategize the next list of seats and candidates. The NCP Ajit Pawar faction and Eknath Shinde-led Sena are expected to release their first list in a day or two.
While the BJP has moved swiftly to announce its first list, the opposition MVA is still trying to iron out its differences. The outcome of these seat-sharing talks will determine the alliance's strength in the upcoming elections. With Sunil Prabhu, Anuj Raite and Aishwarya, this is Radhika Ramaswamy for NDTV.
So will the MVA break the deadlock? To talk more about that, we're joined by Matthew Antony, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Shehzad Poonawalla, spokesperson BJP, Chandrashekhar Jha, Shiv Sena UBT spokesperson, Anish Gawande, national spokesperson NCP, and Nirja Chaudhary, as always, senior journalist, to come in and talk about what she's hearing and what all the talk is about the MVA ahead of the Maharashtra elections. But coming first to you, Chandrashekhar Jha, where do things currently stand? As we know it, there has been this breakdown of talks. There's been sniping from both sides, one has heard. There's also speculation of a phone call that may have taken place between Sanjay Raut and Amit Shah, though that has been denied all around, but that news was planted. So where do things currently stand?
See, many fake news have been peddled with regard to the discrepancies in between the alliance partners in MBA. But eventually, if you see, there are certain seats which are required to be considered by all the three parties, and those are in talks, and we are going rounds about all those seats. So it will be finalized, and we see that within 2-3 days, everything will be finalized, and we'll declare our seats accordingly. And eventually, you see, these elections will be conducted within a month, and we will come out with good results. And the
that's a very
Maharashtra,
waffling kind of an answer. It will be decided in 2-3 days. What is happening right now? We do believe that, leaders have, Congress leaders have gone to talk to their high command. You're waiting. There's talk of impatience from the Shiv Sena side that Sanjay Raut complains about how every time the Congress has to run to the high command to, finalize any decision. So what can you tell us right now?
see, there is no
Gargi.
complaint. What we have demanded.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, what we have demanded our natural seats which were held by
And
us
those are
in
those seats in the
2000.
Vidarbha region, those 12,
Yes.
dozen seats or so.
Yes. So this is nothing wrong in it, and we want to settle it out, and it will be settled. So
Okay, it will
nothing
be-
more, nothing less.
Okay, it will be settled. Matthew Anthony, the same question to you. What is happening? There's all this talk. There's, speculation. As I said, there's this alleged phone conversation that may or may not have happened. I think Sanjay Raut has come out and denied that this phone conversation ever happened. But clearly, a lot of pressure tactics that are taking place. Complaints also that the Congress is not being able to finalize. They keep running off to, ask their high command before taking any decision. And that is really slowing down the entire process.
Gargi, the whole state of Maharashtra is giving a positive tune for the MVA alliance to come into power, elected back into power. So there are so many aspirants which are there from all the sides, and it is an understandable situation. So there is a consultation which is happening between all the three stakeholders, and there are concerns with respect to a few states, where both the stakeholders feels that we have a better prospects to win the seat. So there are discussions happening on that one. However, we are very clear that at this point of time, while we are talking, the CEC meeting for Congress party is happening in Delhi with the headquarters, and then we will be coming out with a list of candidates. At the same time, parallel discussions are going between the High Command and the alliance partners also. So we are going to come out with, we have still time till the 29th is the last date of filing the nomination. So we will be coming out with the alliance candidates within a few days' time.
And there's, talk of the breakdown and this impasse that Sanjay Raut and Nana Patole can't even see eye to eye, that he doesn't want them on the same meeting, all this sort of talk taking place at this point.
Speculations are not to be answered in a national television, because people would like to say so many things.
Yes,
However,
but I'm just telling you, this is all going around, and especially coming off Haryana election defeat, a humiliating defeat for the Congress party. And, we saw that editorial that came in the Samna newspapers. But even then, there are complaints that the Congress continues to act like a big brother.
Gargi, I would disagree with you on that humiliating defeat remark. We only have a 0.65 or less than 1% difference between the vote share of the winning party and as well as the losing party. They formed the government, that's understandable. However, we have not been humiliated. We have given a tough competition. It's unfortunate that we couldn't form the government there. We have taken corrective steps within ourselves, and we have some patience, and within a couple of days, the MBA will come out with a full list of candidates from all three alliance partners.
All right, Shehzad, the Poonawala, the BJP first off the bat with their list of 99 candidates. Is this because, the decisions have been made fast because you felt in the general elections this was something that, proved to be detrimental to the BJP, that it took a long time in finalizing its list of candidates?
First of all, Gargi, thank you for having me on your show, and congratulations to NDTV family for a wonderful first day of NDTV World Summit. And I'm sure tomorrow is going to be an excellent day as well for your channel. Having said that, Gargi, if I was to describe the relationship, the alliance in form of relationship, then while mine is a marriage made in heaven, you have a live-in relationship right on your screen. There is no mission, no vision, no common thing except for their lust for ambition, corruption and position. Let me give you an example. Let's see the three N's that is required in an alliance. Neta. Please ask Mr. Gawande, who will speak next. Sharad Pawar said Neta to Jayant Patil hoga. Mr. Chandrashekhar Jha's party said Neta Uddhav hoga. And Congress says Neta koi bhi hoga, ye dono nahi honge. Then Niti. I asked Mr. Matthew Ji, what is the view on Savarkar? I asked with trepidation, Mr. Jha, Savarkar was not Kair or was he a brave man? And Mr. Gawande's position, God only knows. Sharad Pawar once said one thing, something else now he says. And thirdly, what is Mr. Jha's position on Osmanabad being renamed, on Aurangabad being renamed, on Ahilya Nagar being named as after Ahilya Ji? And you ask NCP Sharad Pawar and ask Congress, they are staunchly opposed to it. They are saying no names should be changed. They should be on Osmanabad and Aurangabad. So Neta, Niti, Niyat, nothing is common. And therefore every day Nana Patole gets up, brushes his teeth, abuses Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut washes his face, abuses Nana Patole. Today, Vijay Wadattiwar has said that 30 seats we are not finalized yet and the elections are due. So therefore, when you have nothing in common, it is not Maha Vikas Aghadi, it is Maha Vibhajan Aghadi. But we are not bothered. We are bothered about how we have made Maharashtra number 1 in FDI, number 1 in GDP, 40 lakh crore GDP from 16 lakh crore. Per capita income has doubled. National highway has tripled. We have taken the unemployment rate down from 7% to 3.1% in the last 10 years. Railway lines have gone up from 3,000 kilometers to 5,400 kilometers. Power capacity has gone from 34,000 megawatt to 46,000 megawatt. Airports from 4 to 12. Railway budget has increased from 1,000 crores to 15,000 crores.
Yes,
this is what we have done.
Yes. All right, the list of achievements, and you've spoken about the ideological differences between the MVA. I don't agree with your marriage/live-in relationship sort of analogy that you've drawn, but Anish Gawande, now you come in here and once again, this is a huge prestige battle for Sharad Pawar, especially given his age currently. The fact that he brought this bloc together, the MVA, very unlikely a bloc that no one would have thought was possible. Shiv Sena, Congress, and the NCP. So now, is it what can you tell us, Sharad Pawar again, trying to ensure and getting all the different the parties all together on one page?
So firstly, Gargi, lovely to be on your show for the first time, and thank you very much for having me here. Very good to see familiar faces and friends on the show as well. I want to start off by saying that even though ours might be a live-in relationship, I'm hoping it's not going to get registered like others across the country will be soon under the Uttarakhand model UCC. So our live-in relationship might be one that has its niggles and squabbles that come out in public from time to time, but coalition politics makes for great television, as we all know. I think the focus needs to be on the BJP's first list, because while all attention has been drawn towards the fact that the MVA's list has not yet been released, the first list being released by the BJP has caused quite a stir, and very few have reported on it. You had Sulbha Gaikwad being announced from Airoli. She's the wife of Ganpat Gaikwad, who is the leader who's currently in jail for shooting at Shinde Sena leaders. The Shinde Sena is upset because of that. You had Shankar Jabtak being announced from Chinswad because of that. Nana Kate, who's part of the NCP Ajit Pawar faction, who thought he would get that seat, is upset. And NCP workers have openly said they won't campaign for the BJP candidate there. And then you have Ganesh Naik being announced from Airoli, but his son not being given a ticket. So there's rumors of his son leaving the party. So all in all, I think the seats might have been announced first, but the discord seems to have begun first as well. And I can assure you that once our seats are announced, those will be announced after due course and due consideration, keeping all of the concerns of party workers and karyakartas in mind, because this is a difficult alliance. I think you're right that Pawar Sahib is a 84-year young man who's been touring across the state left, right and center, addressing more rallies in a day than I could probably do in a month. And he's been doing the hard work, and party workers across the three parties have been doing the hard work of ensuring that your cadre is understanding the gravity of the situation and the need to be united. It's not easy.
All right, so Anish Gawande making the point that the MVA is not the only unlikely, coming together, and even the Mahayuti relationship has its, problems as well. But Nirja Chaudhary, ma'am, your comments on the situation right now, the BJP out with its first list, this standoff emerging between the Congress and Shiv Sena UBT with the talks of the Congress consulting with its high command and the UB and major rifts emerging out in the open. Even this talk and speculation of a phone call between Amit Shah and Sanjay Raut. So lots happening. Both Congress and Shiv Sena, they're claiming it's just going to be all resolved in a day or two.
I think, this last minute tussle on seats is a natural phenomenon. It happens in every single election. Last 20, 30 seats. So both sides are grappling with it, no doubt about it. But the open spat between Sanjay Raut and Nana Patole, that is what makes it a very bitter thing. Otherwise, you keep jostling, positioning yourself, bargaining hard. And the Shiv Sena UBT, Uddhav Thackeray, they are wanting seats in the Vidarbha region, which the Congress thinks is their domain, and it should not be given. So that's a natural tussle. But as far as the election goes, it is a very it's an election not like the Lok Sabha one, which was, where the MVA got 30 out of 48 seats. It was a one-way affair.
Yes.
But this time it is quite close. It seems to be a tucker. Most people are saying that. And the sops that have been doled out by Eknath Shinde, the chief minister, in the recent days, of course, the
Ladki Behan scheme, yes.
Yojana does have resonance in the rural areas. So how much of an inroads will the Maha Yuti make in the following that the MVA had in the Lok Sabha election? That remains to be seen. Of course, the Maratha factor also is a very important factor. Will the BJP lose some of the Maratha votes that it has had in the recent elections? Of course, it's wanting to consolidate the OBCs behind it, full scale. But the Jarange Patil agitation, will it help ultimately the MVA? Dalits, will they stick to the MVA side with having the Maratha, Mahar and the Muslim combination, which was the winning combination in the Lok Sabha elections? Will that stay intact? So there are many questions out there, but it's going to be an election that's closer than was the case during the Lok Sabha.
And the Shiv Sena UBT, really being more assertive after the Haryana elections?
UBT, it's a natural thing. I believe that Mr. Uddhav Thackeray would like to become the chief minister from the point of view of his honor being vindicated, the way he was removed from CM-ship, and that was seen as humiliation. So he would like that to be rectified. Now, we believe that Rahul Gandhi has promised him that we cannot declare you, but we will make you after the elections. But suppose the Congress gets more than the Shiv Sena UBT seats, what happens that? There'll be a demand from within the Congress that the CM should be there. Anyway, that's for after the election results are out.
Before that, they have to arrive at a seat-sharing agreement, and there are issues between the Congress and NCP also in Yavatmal, one hears. But yes, Shehzad, go ahead.
With all due respect to Nirja ji, she has seen many elections, even more than my age or my political experience. So, with due regard to her, Madam, we have to cast away our traditional way of looking at elections, because I think Haryana has proven many things wrong. Now, Madam just spoke about Maratha vote. Does she know that Vijay Wadattiwar is on record to say that we cannot give the Maratha reservation even if we come to power for 4 generations? This is the official stand of Congress. Otherwise, I challenge them to give it in writing. Point 2. Madam, please, we must also remember that while my good friend Mr. Gawande has made a strong case for live-in relationship, the key fundamental is compatibility in any relationship, live-in or marriage. Mr. Gawande, Indi alliance has no compatibility anywhere. Jammu Kashmir. Now, just see in Uttar Pradesh, 7 seats have been declared without asking Congress party. In Maharashtra, Samajwadi Party has declared 2 seats, even though it's part of your alliance. Abu Azmi has declared, Akhilesh has declared 2 seats without even asking you. In Kerala, who is real India alliance, Priyanka or left? There is no compatibility, whether you call it live-in or you call it marriage, and that is the fundamental problem, Gawande ji. Otherwise, you, Chandrashekhar ji and Matthew ji, would have answered my fundamental question on Niyat and Niti, which you all have escaped and not answering at all.
All right, I think we need to move away from this example. But yes, Matthew Anthony, go ahead. Lots has been said about, the problems between the parties and the kind of things that are coming out in the public, and also what a huge prestige battle this is really for the Congress, for the NCP, for UBT Shiv Sena.
Gargi, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Anish for a wonderful presentation in his maiden debate in your channel. Second is, I would like to quote back to Shehzad that who is your leader? Devendra Fadnavis and Gadkari is fighting for the CM. Eknath Shinde wants to be the CM. Ajit Pawar wants to be the CM. So, and BJP is taking 145 seats. You have a sitting chief minister. First, you answer for yourself before questioning us. Second is the entire corrupt government of Mahayuti. Symbolically, it is shown as a failure with the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj statue collapse, which is showing the corruption to the core. 8,000 farmers have committed suicide in the last 3 years' time. 556 in Amaravati in the last 6 months' time. And now you look at it, BMC elections have not been conducted for the last 2.5 years. Where is this? And law and order situation. 2 former lawmakers, Abhishek Gosalkar and Baba Siddiqui, has been shot dead in broad daylight. 2 lawmakers have opened firearms in the police station, and then the road rage accidents. Where are we heading to? The Badlapur incident, where are we heading to? It is complete corruption in the state of Maharashtra, and that is what you're saying. The state debt of Maharashtra is 6,51,263 crores in 2023. Now it should have touched 7 lakh crores. Yeah, on 16th of October, the banking union made a strike across Maharashtra for the simple reason that they say that there is a lot of
all right, a host of issues you've spoken about. What we're talking about is this rift in the MVA that's really come out in the open, but we spoke about how this is a prestige battle for the MVA partners, but for the Maha Yuti as well, for the BJP. I think we lost the line there with Shehzad. I think we may have lost the line there, but it remains, let me take this to Nirja then, because this remains, after the election results of the general elections, there was, even though it was a historic third term for Prime Minister Modi, but it is a coalition government, and there was this sort of damage to the image or to the BJP. There seemed a slide that was put on a stop by Haryana elections, which is a huge, a boost for the BJP. And now with Maharashtra, that's the real key, right? That they need a victory there to really show that what happened in the national elections is not something, it was just an aberration.
Maybe not an aberration, but that they have overcome it.
Yes, they'll overcome it, sure.
The way they've overcome it. And I think the interesting thing about the Maharashtra election is that, of course, it is in the second largest state of India, 48 seats. And this state, along with UP, was responsible for robbing the BJP of a majority. And of course, it's the financial hubs, and money does make a difference as far as politics goes. So all parties will covet that Aghadi in Maharashtra, but also because psychologically, whoever wins Maharashtra this time, psychologically, it will impact that side in national politics. Are they on the upswing or they are on a downhill? And I think for both, if MVA manages to wrest power from the Maha Yuti in Maharashtra, Haryana will be forgotten. If BJP does come back to power in Maharashtra, then they are on the upswing nationally. Already they're giving them great, new heart.
So for all sides, for all parties involved, it's, a matter of prestige, a matter to show that they're the real deal. A quick closing remarks, Chandrashekhar Jha, first to you.
When we call an unholy alliance of MVA, we should also consider the alliance between BJP, Eknath Shinde group as well as Ajit Pawar group. When they were telling clearly that we will not go with NCP, why they are today with them? This is not an unholy alliance. This is considered as an unholy and unfaithful alliance of them.
All right, so a lot of questions over the alliance partners. Anish Gawande, your comments here?
Completely.
As we've been saying, this is a huge prestige battle for the NCP, for Sharad Pawar to prove.
I think we've proven enough with an 8 out of 10 seats in the Lok Sabha, but we're eager and hungry to prove more.
This is the one that counts.
As for Shehzad's point on Niyat and Niti, it's called a common minimum program, and I'm sure we'll execute what we've promised as we did in the 2.5 years of governance. And finally, I want to say nobody's taking this election lightly. It's a close fight, as Nirja ji has also said, but it's a fight that I'm sure we will win come November.
All right, Shehzad Poonawalla.
If they had anything in common or even minimum things that were in common, they would have taken a position on Savarkar. The entire show has gone. They would have taken a position on the renaming of Osmanabad and Aurangabad. The entire show has gone. I would only like to say that Babasaheb Thackeray ji had once said that I would rather shut my shop, but I will never go with this Congress party than what he said about Sonia ji. I don't want to repeat.
All right, so this is something that has been said many times before. Finally, Matthew Anthony.
Why did the BJP give the madrasas a hike in their rates, a hike in their salaries when they have not given it in any other states? Will you give it in UP? Will you give it in Karnataka? Will you do it in Kerala? Now, the people of Maharashtra will vote against BJP for backstabbing the two regional parties which found its origin in the state of Maharashtra. And BJP has a history of breaking the regional parties from Tamil Nadu to Haryana. So the people of Maharashtra is going to answer that.
All right, well, I'm
watch
completely out of time. We'll leave it there. The question really is, even though Congress and Sena UBT claiming that it's going to be resolved in just a day or two and just keep watch, but will the MVA break the deadlock? That final squabbling over seat sharing, some final 20 seats is where the issue is. Will they overcome it? Well, that's all the time we have right now, but we'll continue our focus on Maharashtra. Do stay with us.